can hear my father's words. 40 years. 40 long years. The truth is, this day and age, 40 years is a long time. My brother and I are very lucky individuals. We've been able to witness such an example of true love, an example of sacrifice, and such an example of just a great marriage. If someone were to ask them, has it been easy? I'd hear the quick reply from my mother with a large grin on her face. No, nothing about this man has been easy. I also know that neither one of them would trade anything for the other. Born on opposite sides of the country, my father in Maryland and my mother in New Mexico, it certainly was a miracle that they even met. They became friends at a young age, and my father had a great big crush on my mom. And I believe it was reciprocal, although my mother wouldn't admit it. They began dating, and they did get married on a rainy afternoon in May of 1973. And the old wives' tale that states it's good luck to have rain on your wedding day must actually be true. Their honeymoon was rained out, and they spent the first night of their wedding bliss in their new home. Certainly not exactly a romantic movie ending, but clearly it worked out. The years ahead were marked by wonderful memories. They welcomed their firstborn, my brother Damon, in April of 1976, and were thrilled to have him alive as the labor was really difficult. My mom and my brother almost lost their lives. Time quickly passed, and they welcomed another baby. They had the name all picked out, Elizabeth Ann, and then the unthinkable happened. It was a boy. I busted on the scene, and their life became hectic, raising two boys, my father working in the coal mines and my mother taking care of us. My brother and I really never wanted for anything. I know we never had everything, but I always had the idea that my parents were the wealthiest people on the planet. My father was hardworking and sometimes drove my mother crazy because he just wasn't home as much. But we know now why he dedicated his time at his job. He loved us. He loved our family and wanted to provide good things for us. My mother made our home the place to be. The warmth that I felt when I would come home from school was absolutely indescribable. I still feel that warmth today when I walk through those doors. The aroma of fresh-baked cookies or a pot roast that had been cooking all afternoon frequented our home. My parents made sure to fill our house with love. That's what made the last 40 years work for them. They had their ups and downs, times without jobs, times without extra money, but have always approached it with an expectancy for God above to meet them where they are and provide. My parents have contributed to so many people around them. They've offered couples shelters. They've been counselors, teachers, doctors to my brother and me. They have spent their lives giving so that others around them would feel important and loved. I remember one afternoon, my father had driven 4 hours from his house to help my wife and I remodel our home. He loves helping my brother and I whenever he can. As he was working, he got a phone call from my aunt, and she said my mom was having severe chest pain and they were on their way to the hospital. The look on my father's face I will never forget. He cried, he wept, and said the simple words of, I don't know what I'll do if I lose my helpmate. And my heart sank. I saw the love and the respect, the admiration that had grown over the last, what was then 37 years prior. Everything, of course, did work out, and my mother is doing well now. Though 40 years have come and gone, they still make things work. I love them dearly and see the effectiveness they've had as parents and as a couple and as friends. My hope and prayer is that they would live to see another 40 years. Happy and healthy. Although I believe both of my parents would disagree. Here's to them and their 40th anniversary.